Let me tell you the story of my relation to air. In fact, I discovered very young in my life that air is not just something we breathe so that we can make our metabolism work, but air is actually something that can cure us. And my story starts when I was born back in a long time ago, back in Denmark, Copenhagen. This country has a climate, 6 months of the year we have no light and very high humidity. And this, of course, favors something that is called mold that floats in the air. So for the first 6 years of my life, I was sick approximately 5 months every year, either at home or in the hospital in oxygen tents. It was really bad. Of course, my parents tried everything to get me out of this situation, but nothing worked. No doctor could find any solution. Fortunately, my mother was Swiss, and she had heard from her youth that people who suffered at the beginning of the century, people who suffered from tuberculosis, after they cured in the hospital, they were sent to the mountains in Switzerland, where they had something called sanatoriums, where you basically stayed for 6 months just to recover your lung capacity. So having heard that, she decided that since nothing could be done in Denmark, she would send me back to Switzerland. And I was sent up in the mountain for in a boarding school. About 6 months after I had stayed there, my asthma was gone. And after 2 years, it was completely cured. I didn't realize at that time that it was the air who did it. Of course, I understood that the air was better, but I didn't understand that it really cured me. I did my whole career traveling around the world, never had asthma again, until I landed here in Dubai, 2007. And my asthma started coming back. At first I thought it was the outdoor air with the pollution or the sand, the dust. But when it became a crisis, I had to visit the doctor. And the doctor, after going through the consultation and prescribing the anti-allergics, basically asked me a very fundamental question. He asked me, did you ever clean your AC? Now, AC for me, coming from Switzerland, was not really a common thing. It was just grill on the wall. I didn't know what was behind. So I decided that, I had to do it, and I would even take a bigger challenge, which was I wanted to try to recreate the Swiss quality air in my house and mainly in my bedroom. At the time, 2007, there was not quite a lot of companies who could deep clean an AC. Cleaning an AC, wiping the grills, everybody could do, but deep cleaning, medically treating an AC, not many companies could do it. That's why I decided to create a company that was specialized in that. But long story short, I had my AC deep cleaned. I had the full house hygienized. Why? Because basically dust, humidity creates this mold. So the first thing was to completely get rid of the dust in every corner of the house. And this is a very deep cleaning that we call hygienization. The second thing I did was obviously to put some specific air purifiers. There are not many that are really good, but there are a few that are extremely good. All these things together, and having a monitor where I could see the index of the quality of the air in Switzerland and in my room, I could measure whether I could achieve this standard of quality of air, which I did, and I still do right now in my personal home. And since then, my asthma is again gone. So long story short, air is not just something we breathe. Air is something that can do much more than just stimulating our mitochondria. It can really cure people who have any respiratory function problem.